Hello and welcome. Today we have Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Chairman UP-RERA with us. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So how is it going working from home?
Well, I think it's a little different experience, but it's also given the circumstances and the very unusual, unprecedented situation where we are because of this COVID-19. I think this also shows the way how much we can do working from home. So to that extent, it's a new experience, but it will be useful going forward also.
And since throughout your bureaucratic life, you never had time, you were so busy as UP-RERA chairman. This is the biggest RERA in the country with the maximum number of cases. And prior to this, you were chief secretary UP. There also you didn't have any time. Now that you are having spare time with you, are you pursuing your hobbies?
Well, I'm basically an outdoor person, but that aspect is covered. But there is so much to read because one has also been in touch with a lot of colleagues around the country and in the state. They're doing a fabulous job, especially the frontline workers, the doctors, the nurses, the health staff, district administration, police, people associated with supplies, NGOs. Uh, they are all rising to the occasion and doing an outstandingly good job. And there's also a lot to read globally what's happening, what could be the long-term impact of this COVID.
So you have recently started doing meetings, video meetings. UP-RERA has recently been doing this. So have you taken any decisions so far post-lockdown? And if you can tell those, what are those?
Yeah, we are meeting regularly because strictly not a holiday, but it's only work from home, as you had raised earlier. We have taken couple of decisions. I would like to mention two of them. One relates to the fact that there were about 650 odd projects which are registered with UP-RERA, whose end date is up to December of 20. Out of these, there are 268 projects which have an end date between 15th March to 15th of June. And of course, out of these, about 40 are already completed or they have filed for getting a completion certificate. But for the remaining, because for substantial part of this period, the work will be stopped and it will have a cascade effect. So what we have decided that for all projects with end dates up to 15th of June, we extend their completion date by a period of 3 months so that they get this additional time to complete whichever projects would require it. And similarly, for projects up to December, whenever their date ends between 15th June to 30th December, they would also similarly get a 3 months extension. Second decision which you had mentioned was that, as I was saying in the initial phase, a lot of things are going to change. We were already working through our e-code system. We had already launched it and a lot of people have filed their complaints online. A lot of promoters have also responded likewise. So we have more than 100 such cases today, which have been filed online where the replies have also come. And there are also certain cases from which were manually being dealt with the court, though they are all filed online. So we intend starting arguments being heard on a video conferencing mode, as has recently been directed by the Honorable Supreme Court also, that we should enhance this kind of activity. So we would be starting a video conferencing arguments so that we can dispose of the cases early.
So coming to your first decision, you said you are giving 3 months extension for the projects. for the validity of the registration. We have been speaking to some developers. They are saying that many of the laborers have gone back, and to mobilize them, it will take a substantial amount of time. They have gone back to their native villages, to their native places. Also, many of the raw material plants are closed. Now the work will restart post 20th, but that too partially, not on a full-fledged. So they were saying the 3-month period is too short a period to complete the projects. They are ideally looking at a 9 to 12 months of extension. Would you like to comment on that?
See, the point is that the maximum permissible extension under law is 1 year. And there has to be individual reasons to back that up. Now, our understanding is that there is, of course, a lot of uncertainty. We are all very hopeful that because of the decision of Government of India for having this lockdown and the effort of the state governments, we should be in a position to start our activities as have been planned and already announced by governments from 20th April and thereafter after 3rd of May. So one is not at this stage absolutely uncertain how and when everything will be as earlier. Obviously, everything will not be possible to be done as was being done earlier, because even after lockdown, the social distancing norms, checking people are healthy who are working at the site, supply chain management, there are a lot of issues. But this 3 months window, given that we have a lockdown from the 24th March till 3rd of May as of now, 1 month of mobilization appears reasonable at this stage. Having said that, this is an evolving situation for our country as well as globally. So the right of every individual, both on the buyer side as well as on the bidder side, to seek a longer extension in case there is justification, very much remains.
So in this entire thing, the buyers are at a great loss. Their projects, they are going to get their respective houses by at least 3 months later. And also there's a EMI pressure on this. Though the RBI has asked for a 3 months moratorium, which the banks are giving, but there is a charge to that. There will be an additional interest outflow of that 3 months moratorium. What many are expecting is that there should be this 3 months moratorium shall be interest free. So looking at the interest of the buyer, would you recommend government to the state government, to the central government, to make this moratorium interest free for the home buyers, for the home loan borrowers?
See, there are two parts of this question. So let me answer it this way. As I had mentioned that almost 40 out of 260 projects are already completed, which I had mentioned for this March-June window. And various other projects are also in various stages of completion. So it is not as if, all the projects are delayed or all the projects are going to overshoot. Having said that, this is of course a very unprecedented situation which none of us have ever faced in our lives. And therefore, when we look at this 3 months moratorium, the point which you have mentioned about the buyers is valid, but RERA has provisions for compensating for delay. And that provision would be applicable except for a justification on force majeure wherever that is applicable. The second part is that the Government of India as well as RBI have been making all efforts to ensure that liquidity in the system goes up. One of the major problems which this sector has been facing relates to liquidity. And once liquidity is there, I am sure that most of the builders are capable of expediting the projects also. So we are hopeful that with the efforts of RBI and with the anticipated package of economic incentives, we would be able to expedite the real estate projects, which would directly benefit the buyers also. Secondly, I think we should await what kind of package or incentives would be forthcoming from the government of India in this regard.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. And we'll keep coming to you as and when required. And stay safe and take care, sir.
Thank you. The same to you and to you, all your listeners also. Take care and follow the guidelines of the government and stay safe with your families. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.